Hey, it's Bryce Edwards. I wanted to present you with a 5-minute market update for Las Vegas. I want to quickly go over some stats, show you what's going on in the market, tell you what I think might be happening next, and what you can do about it. So let's first talk about the interest rate. So we're sitting at 6.78% on 30-year fixed. Ever since about the election, we've been sitting above 6.5%. There was right around the time of October, we almost got to 6%. But ever since the election, 6.5 to 6.9 is about where we've been. This is really causing a lock-in effect. Anybody who has a 3, 4, 5% interest rate, they are just not incentivized to give up that low interest rate to then inherit a 6.5% interest rate. This is where new home builders are outwitting the competition when it comes to sales right now. They're able to offer teaser rates of in the fours to get people to purchase their homes, whereas a normal reseller is not able or willing to offer those same incentives. When it comes to actual homes on market, this is where we've seen the biggest change in the last year. We've seen just an explosion of listings come on the market. With these listings coming on the market, we're also slowly increasing our months of supply, but we're not seeing prices come down yet. Sellers are choosing to either delist their property or just leave it on the market for longer. They're no longer listening to the market and just moving down with the market, doing price cuts. If one of their neighbors got a price a year ago, 2 years ago, they think they deserve that price or a little bit more. So right now, everybody's just basically in a holding pattern. Buyers are not buying as much as they are, and sellers are not selling as much as they were. So right now, you could say it's an even market, but it's really just because nobody's doing anything. So let me run you just some quick stats. I pulled these directly from the MLS, so you won't see this a lot online because it updates every 7 days on my portal. So let me run you through some quick ones. So new listings for the last 7 days. Right now we're at 668. Last week we had 775. So marginally about 15% lower in new listings this week. We did, however, have 849 price drops in the last 7 days. So we've had more price drops than we've had new listings in the last 7 days. That's just marginally higher than the week before. Withdrawn and canceled, 318 people chose to remove their home from the market. Sometimes this is done strategically where they take it off the market for a moment and put it back on at a lower price, but that data isn't accurately trackable. Median list price, we're still sitting right around 520,000. That's been holding pretty steady for a while now, I guess you could say. Average days on market, we're sitting around 44 days. You've got to remember this number is a lagging indicator because it sometimes takes 30 to 45 days for a property to close once it's under contract. And then lastly, months of inventory. We're sitting at 5 months of inventory right now. Technically, that signals a balanced market. 4 to 6 is where you want to be for balanced. Under 4, you're in a seller's market. Over 6, you are in a buyer's market. According to a recent story in the Review Journal I'm showing on the screen now, Vegas leads the nation in new listings, yet the prices are only down 1% year over year. In a lot of markets like in Austin, other places in Texas, a lot of places in Florida, we're seeing prices go down because of the lack of regulation when it comes to home building. So there's a lot more units available there. Vegas has never been able to keep up with the demand that it has. So Vegas is one of the few hubs that's able to keep its pricing relatively consistent right now. So what does this mean and what can you do with all this information? If you're a seller right now, you need to be wary that you might be on the market a little bit longer than you're used to. You might not have as many showings as you're used to. And if the market isn't responding to your price, you're going to have to do price cuts and they're likely going to have to be substantial. A lot of sellers are just choosing to pull their homes off the market, hoping that prices rebound later. On the flip side, if you're a buyer right now, you have a lot of negotiating power. I don't know my stats for the year, but I'm averaging a little bit over $100,000, I would estimate, per transaction negotiated off. So you can be really picky if you're a buyer if the right home is on the market. That's the one thing I would say is just because buyers technically have leverage right now doesn't mean that you should settle for something that you don't actually want. So still be picky, find the right house, and maybe negotiate a 2-1 buy down instead of just negotiating off of the sales price. If you have any questions, would you like me to cover a different topic? Leave your comments below. You've got all my information down there if you'd like to have a discussion about your particular situation, and I'll talk to you soon.